Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with
Mike Matthew.
and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Well, some people have been asking me, man, hey, how's Dak Prescott's rehab going and things? And, you get little tad bits here and there. We saw Dak out a couple weeks ago. I think it was it Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving? Or maybe it was before that. But he was out on crutches and stuff, supporting some of the youth in football and things. We saw him out at Halloween with his girlfriend. He was dressed up as a mummy, wrapped in gauze, which was kind of fitting. And, of course, his girlfriend was dressed up as a nurse. And today there's a bit, I'm on the road. I want to read the whole thing, but I can't read it while I'm here on the road and stuff. And I'm going to be in no man's land soon, so probably it'll be hours before this gets uploaded. But he was talking about his rehab and saying that each day it's about, you're looking at your leg and doing things that you couldn't do the day before and knowing that you're getting better each and every day. What we've been told is that he's ahead of schedule and things like that. They ended up having to go in and operate and surgically set the bones and things on there. And the good thing is there hasn't been any infection. But I want to read the whole quote, and like I said, I can't read it while I'm driving. But he said, and this is so profound for me today, he says, don't take anything for granted, even if it's just a walkthrough. And, as I'm driving down to my brother's house to help his wife because he's no longer here, doing some things to fix the house so she'll be better off. I took for granted the time that I had for my brother, thinking, I got plenty of time to go down and go fishing with him. I don't have time right now and stuff. And, as I go to sleep at night, I keep having dreams about things that we used to do or things we should have been doing and things like that. And unfortunately, I took that time for granted and figured there's plenty of time. There's not. So you gotta take each and every day, each and everything that you do, and learn to appreciate it, because if you don't, it's just time wasted. And probably for Dak, having played football his whole career, and always being able to go through and continue to play football. He had the hurt shoulder before the Eagle game, of course, last year, but not having something severe like this. When you have something tragic like this happen to you, it will literally change your perspective on everything. For me, when I had the burns, my right leg got burned in an apartment fire that we were working on. And I never thought about being scarred or burned and things like that. And when it happened, it was traumatic for me. But it changed my perspective, because as bad as it was for me, meeting some of the people that were burned so much worse than I was, it made me actually feel lucky for the little bit of damage that I had in comparison to others. And it taught me a lot about life, because no matter how bad things may be for you right now, there are always people that are worse off. And you have to count your blessings for what you have. And see, what this kind of thing will do to you, having an injury like he's had, not being able to be out there with his teammates and playing, it creates a new sense of urgency and a new hunger and appreciation for what you have. And I dare say, when Dak gets back out there, after having a dose of realizing how precious that time is and how easily it can be taken away from you, that'll create a sense of urgency to get to the top of the mountain. It will literally set a fire in your ass to realize, I ain't got forever to get there. I got to get this thing done now. And seeing his team going from where they were to without him will give him, I think, of even more edge, and the players will truly, really follow behind him even more. They will rally behind him. I may be wrong. I may be crazy. But I really have that kind of a feeling that will change it for the better. What do you think? I think that's possible?
That's possible.
Because Dak Prescott, after the season's over, he's not off on the golf course and stuff like that. He's getting together with the guys out there throwing the football and working on routes and things like that. For a guy who literally built a football field in his backyard, you understand that this guy is all about playing football and wanting to win. And for him to have this thing with his leg, what this will be is, I don't know if you guys ever, I don't know what books you guys read now in school. Of course, we had to read George Orwell's 1984. And, did you ever read that book? Okay, because
Never heard.
Okay. Yeah, okay, this is how old I am. This was a book about the year 1984 and how Big Brother was going to be watching you and how the future was going to be. Yeah, I'm that old that we actually read a book about 1984 that was the future. Okay, so we had to read that book. Well, it is. It's more. It was more like 2014 as opposed to 1984. But another one of these books that we read was The Red Badge Courage. And this is about a Civil War soldier who was actually, I think he was running from battle, and he actually got scared. And he ended up running into something, and he ended up gashing his head. And he had this scar, and everybody thought the scar was actually from the battle. And so it ended up changing him because he had this scar, and everybody thought, oh, he's a hero and everything else. But he ended up using that that scar, that red badge of courage, as a way of being motivational. And when you have that kind of injury and stuff, I can guarantee that every time Dak Prescott puts on his shoe and he sees that scar, he's going to be reminded about how precious the time is for him. You know what I mean? That you're going to constantly see that. That's going to be constantly a reminder of your time being precious and create a sense of urgency. I look forward to it because I think you're going to see a guy who's possessed when he gets back on the field. Would you agree with that? Yeah. He's right. Don't take anything for granted. I wish I hadn't taken time with my family for granted because you won't have too much of it. Hope you guys are having a great day, and well, I'll see you on the flip side.